guys, this is Jen from Farpoint Farms. Today we're going to talk a little bit about dishes. So we have here the way that we do them. We wash them by hand, and works well. There's only 2 of us, so there's not too many dishes that need to get done, but it kind of gets old, like very old, when every single time you have a meal, more dishes to do, more dishes to do, more dishes to do. So anyway, so we were sent by a company called Airmsen, a countertop dishwasher, which I'm kind of excited to use. So that way, if we do some cooking, I can go ahead and load them up and not have to wash them by hand, which is really, really exciting. So as you can see, we have our drying rack right there, and I've got some dirty dishes in the sink. I'm going to go ahead and get it set up for you. There's not really much to unbox. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and get it set up. I'm going to put the 2 side by side so you can kind of get an idea how the size comparison, and then we'll get it loaded up and try it out. Alright, so I have it set up here next to our little drying rack. It is much, much bigger. However, it's going to need to be because it's got all the electronics in there. It's got the area to put all the dishes and such. This one's really nice. Opens up. It is lit up inside so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on in there. This pulls out. You got for accessories, and then you have this for all your utensils, that kind of stuff. Rolls pretty nicely. You've got your top spinner up here. You got your bottom spinner, and then there is a drain part for it. So it has everything that you need in comparison to a big washer, just in a much smaller thing. As you can tell, it kind of hits where our cabinets are. It's about 18 inches tall. I think our cabinets are actually just a little lower than that. But if you had a spot that did not have any cabinets, it would sit flush with the back part of it and kind of be out of your way. So I'm going to go ahead and add some water to it to go ahead and get it set up. It has an option where you can hook it to your kitchen faucet, or you can add about 5 liters of water manually to the top part here. Once it's full, it's going to beep at you, letting you know that it is full. Alright, I don't know if the microphone picked it up, but that dinging there just lets you know that it's completely full. So it is ready to go. I've got these little pods right here for dishes. Just kind of sits right there. I'm going to go ahead and get it loaded, kind of go through some of the different cycles, and we'll see how it works. Alright, so I have everything loaded in there. Let me open it back up and get a better view. We just had a few breakfast dishes, but I've got enough for our coffee cups. I do have one of our canning jars in here. This does have the option of like a sanitizing cycle. So if you're going to have like canning jars, or if you have young kids and you want to sanitize like baby bottles, perfect setting for it. I've got our utensils in the back. So we are ready to go. Alright, so up here is going to be our different settings. As you can see right now, normal will run for about 69-70 minutes, give or take. And then we've got different, if you want to do glassware, that baby care right there, that's the one that's going to run the longest. And it's also going to have some of the higher temperatures. That way you can go ahead and kind of get everything sanitized. And then it also does have where you can do an extra dry setting to make sure everything gets nice and dry. And there also is a fruit setting. So if you want to go ahead and wash your fruit or produce or something along those lines, you can actually do it in this machine, which should be kind of cool when it comes down to canning season for us. So I'm going to go ahead, because it's just a small one, I'm going to set it to normal. And then I'm going to hit start. And I'm going to back up just a little bit so you guys can kind of get an idea what it's going to look like once it starts going. And I have this set up to drain in our sink, but they do have other options as far as hooking it up to, some people will do it to like a bucket that drains below it. Some people will actually hook it up directly to their plumbing, just depending on how you want yours set up and how it'll get set up for you. So as you can see, it's just kind of doing its thing. We're going to come back here in a few minutes and kind of check on it, see how it's going. And if I can catch it, I will show you how it drains into the sink. As you can tell by the little bit of suds in the sink that it drained out the way that it was supposed to. It's got a little bit of a drain right there. Working the way it's supposed to. Awesome. Alright guys, as you can see, it is draining quite well directly into the sink like it's supposed to. And I don't know if you can catch, there's a little bit of steam coming off showing that it was using some nice hot water. Alright guys, the cleaning cycle is done and now it has entered into its 60-minute air dry cycle. So we're going to go ahead and let this do its thing, and once it is all completely done, we're going to go ahead and take them out and see how well the job it did. Alright guys, this thing is just about ready. It's got about a minute or so. Whenever it's done, it's going to go ahead and beep and let us know. And as you can see, the light does come on a few minutes before the end of its drying cycle to kind of let you know that it is just about finished. So once it beeps, we'll take a look at the dishes and see how it worked. Alright, and we are done. Alright, as you can see, my dishes are nice and clean. So my impressions of this, very, very cool. If you don't have a dishwasher and you're a small family of, maybe 2 people or 2 and like a small child, this would be perfect for you. Again, remember, it does have that nice sanitizer feature, which I'm going to be using when I go ahead and start getting my jars ready for canning. That way I can make sure everything is as clean as it needs to be for it. Again, if you have any comments on this or if you've had experiences with these, please let us know in the comments below. And again, thanks Airmsen for sending us this machine to review. It is definitely well worth it. Thank you and take care.